Hey, it's Jen of Vegan Adventures of Jane and Jen, and I just got a question that I was answering and writing this long response, and I thought I should make a video. So I apologize for like the post-apocalyptic gym hair and whatever. We're going to put some dishes away, and I'm going to talk to you. This person, and I don't want to mention her name because unless somebody is okay with it, you want to do that. Anyway, she works in a hospital, and she took some salad to work and some vegetables and potato or something like that and ate or whatever. And people at work are telling her, oh, potatoes are bad, they make you fat, you need to eat just beans. The doctor, because in the hospital everybody's got an opinion and there's a million doctors, the doctor said, oh, you should eat beans and not potatoes, they're going to make you fat. My question was, how fat is the doctor? Just throwing that out there. The reason I don't eat beans right now is because they're not very satiating for the amount of calories that they pack. So I would rather have a sweet potato or a white potato or the two of them mixed together, which I think is the optimum combination. You want to mix them together because the digestion is more solid and streamlined. So I would eat those because the satiation is so much higher. Beans, I mean, if you want to, remove one potato and eat up some beans, do you. But I just don't see the point in it. I don't want to be hungry. I like to eat and be full. Now, bear in mind, these people are all freaking out and you're going to be fat, and they're eating, she told me, they're ordering takeout, eating biscuits and gravy and chicken tenders and other nonsense, and they're worried about how fat you're going to be. These are people that want to hear good things about their bad habits. Gravy is never good for you. I don't care who you are, how thin you are. It's loaded with animal fat and cholesterol, which is going to sit up in your arteries. So even if you're someone who's thin, and I will tell you something, my uncle died of heart disease. He was one of my favorite people in the whole world. He was 50 years old. They went in to do that artery thing, and the carotid, like where they rotor-rooted it out, and a piece of whatever came loose. He had like 95% blockage, from what I understand, in most of his body. He went in for a simple procedure, and he died. He was tall, like 6'2", and thin, like probably 150 pounds. Like he was a tall, thin dude, but he had a lot of cholesterol, and all he ate was bologna, meat, and, he drank beer and smoked and stuff, which doesn't help because smoking makes your blood like very sticky. But still, 50 years old is too young to die. So somebody who's eating junk like that and all cholesterol and animal products does not have the right to tell you what they should be eating. You want to live, you want to take care of your body, this is the thing to do. Now, when they start to say things to you about, oh, you shouldn't eat those potatoes, they're going to make you fat, potatoes make you fat, you know what? First of all, look at the source. Like, are they fat? Do they have squares down their stomach? Are they running, 5Ks? Are they lifting weights? Are they doing any kind of activity? Can they do any kind of activity? So consider the source. My mother always said that. When somebody says something to you that's like abrupt and horrible, you just have to consider the source. And as I've grown older, I really get what she means. Look at the people and go, yeah, whatever. Now, other people are saying things to her about like, oh, what about this and what about that? The thing is, you don't owe these people an explanation. And I've mentioned this before, but Dr. Doug Lisle talks about this. You can just say, oh, it's something I'm trying out. Don't say, well, I get this much protein from this, and I eat that, and then I feel better if I do this, and it's okay, and I'm not going to be unhealthy. You know what? Unless you're like anorexic looking and you're ill and you can't go to work because you're so weak, they really don't care about you. People say it because it's pointing out what they're doing. You have a big bowl of plain potatoes, maybe some, I think she said green beans, and a large salad. You're eating, you feel good, you're energized, and these people are eating some greasy takeout food. They want to know that what you're doing isn't good so that it makes what they're doing okay. Being vegan and being a whole food, plant-based, like clean eating vegan, not junk food, processed food, garbage vegan, it puts people in a weird position, and what's my hair doing? And they start to feel really strange about it because they feel like it points out that they're doing bad things. That's not your problem. So I want to be super clear. Do not offer an explanation. Do not, like I said in the video yesterday, don't try to tell your family, you're going to eat like me now, here's your bag of potatoes. They're going to be like, get the hell out of here. What's wrong with you? You do you. You pay attention to you, you take care of you, and this is, I'm telling you right now, this is what's going to happen. Now, you got to remember, people, no matter how much weight you have to lose, they say what? You might see it on the scale first. But, 5 or 6 pounds is not going to show on your body really that much unless you're very lean already and you're leaning out, like if you watch my girl Tanya's video today and look at her Instagram, she has a picture before she started she eats the same amount of calories, but she intermittent fasts now and she lifts weights and it's changed her body. She's very tight and lean now. You notice that because there's no extra body fat to lose. When you are a little fluffier and you got some extra weight going on, it's going to take a minute before people go, wow, you've lost some weight. And I will tell you, it doesn't show up right away. It may be your pants may start to feel a little loose and they don't make you want to cry when you put them on. But for them to start being fitting nicer and a little bit looser everywhere, it may be 10, 15, maybe even 20 pounds before that shows. But when it does, and it will, when it starts to show, those same people that were oh, those potatoes are going to make you fat, those are the same people that are going to go, what are you doing? And when you tell them, I'm doing what you've seen me do for the last 2 months, they're going to go, well, what else are you doing? Nothing. This is what I'm doing. It may take 2 months for people to take a look at you and go, you look different. I had a client of mine that I haven't seen in 7 or 8 weeks yesterday say to me, oh my God, you look thin. And I was now I wear a smock. When I cut hair, I wear black pants and a black top because hairdressers, we love black. The whole spa industry, all we wear is black. But I have a gold wall colorist, and it's a coat, so you don't ruin all your clothes. So it's not body conscious is my point. It's a box, And no matter what you do, it's a lab coat, So it doesn't really show off. She said, your face looks so thin. She's you look so much smaller. And I'm I do. And she's don't lose any more weight. Now, I clearly have 10 or 15 pounds that I could lose, and I will not be looking like I've escaped from, a prison camp. Trust me. But it's shocking to people, and I'm telling you, this is what's going to happen to you. When we saw our friend in May last year, or earlier this year, and he said, geez, you look really good. I said, I'm eating 75 pounds of potatoes a month, and the look on their face is just priceless, because if you think 75 pounds of potatoes in a month, oh my God, how is this even possible? How are you not just enormous? And I lost 9 pounds that month. And yes, I said I did quit drinking, which makes a huge difference, because when you drink at night, it's extra calories that you're not going to burn off, and you generally start to snack when you do that. So combined with the intermittent fasting. But now it has, I think June I lost 3 pounds. I lost 2 pounds in July. I did take a look at that. So it's happening. It's happening. And 2 pounds a month, I am okay with that. Stay off the freaking scale. I did this for years. Stay off the scale. Just do you. Eat what you're going to eat. At the end of the month, weigh yourself. Don't get all worked up for it. Weigh yourself. And Doug Lyle says, get on the scale, weigh yourself. If it seems like it's a weight that it shouldn't be, weigh yourself the next day, and weigh yourself for 3 days in a row if you want, or 2 days, whatever. Take the average and put that as what you weigh, and then move on. Because if you're doing all the right stuff, then you're going to see the success that you want to see. If you're doing the right things, and the mom's thing that I do, I'm telling you, it's the right thing, at least for me. I always say if you can eat an all raw diet, absolutely go for it. A low fat raw diet, not a cashew, sour cream, cashew smoothie dip diet, because that will just make you fat. But a low carb, high fat raw diet like Tanny will absolutely yield you very good results in a little bit faster. But if that's not something you feel like you can handle, I personally have a little bit of a hard time with it. I eat a ton of raw, but I do eat my cooked potatoes, and I cook my broccoli and my cauliflower. But it's still not covered in butter, salt, or it is covered in salt. I lied. It's covered in salt, but it's not covered in butter. I don't use ketchup, stuff like that. So just know that the results will start to show. I saw some people last weekend that I haven't seen in a while, and they're like, oh my gosh, you look really good. It takes a while. It's not going to show, you're not going to see next Friday, oh my God, people are going to stop you in the street and go, are you eating? It doesn't work like that. Healthy, normal weight loss is not an overnight thing. You have to have some faith in yourself. You have to not cheat yourself. You have to do the program. Do it. If you do it, it will work. If you don't do it, it will not work. If you are still eating hummus with oil, it will not work. I have a video from I think it's almost a year and a half ago now, called I Broke Up with Hummus. because I would buy the family hummus at Wegmans. It's like this big, and eat like a half a head of cauliflower with like half the tub of it. Hummus is a trigger food for me. It has oil in it. If you're going to eat hummus, then you're going to have a problem. I'm not saying you can never have it. We had a party at the house Friday night, and I had hummus and vegetables, and I did have some of that. I knew I was going to, though, so I kind of made an allowance for that. But hummus is not a regular part of my diet ever, and it also is made from beans, so you've got the extra carbs and the extra oil. So, the starchy vegetable, they're actually a legume, but you get my point. If you're going to have X amount of calories from starch, you don't want to add hummus and oil into that mix. If you're still eating oil, I suggest you stop immediately. I can't even have this discussion. Like, I was talking to a friend this morning, and I'm not going to say who it is, about oil, and I said, it's like you just want to, like we were saying, it's just frustrating. You're like, get on my level. I do not have time to address this. Oil is not food. Oil is 4,000 calories a pound. Olive oil is not good for you. It does not make you thin. It is not good for your heart. Stop eating it. Oil is not food. You do not need to eat oil. Look up John McDougall, look up Forks Over Knives, look up any of those doctors, and they will tell you, John McDougall will tell you, oil is not food. He is not a woo-woo, sit-in-the-woods chant kind of doctor. He is a doctor that has practiced on tens of thousands of patients for like 50 years, and he has seen the results of the American diet, the SAD diet, and the diet like what we eat, what I eat. He has seen the results of that. So these are people to listen to. Do your research. Do your plan. Do you. Don't pay attention to what any of these people think. And like, let's say you're 5'5" and you weigh 190 pounds. If you lose 10 pounds and now you weigh 180, you're not going to look that much different yet. You've got to give yourself time. It may take 20 or 25 pounds before people can't say something, and they also don't want to say something if they shouldn't. They may think you look a little different after 10 or 15 pounds, but they don't want to say something because what if you haven't lost weight? What if they say, you're losing weight, you look good, and you're like, no. They don't want to say anything. People wait until it's really noticeable before they say something encouraging. So just put your blinders on. Tanny talks about this. Put your blinders on. Do what you're doing. Do not pay attention to other people. And this goes back to, like, I think I talked yesterday about social situations and like trying to force your family. It's all the same. You take care of you. Feel free to share with other people. Do not discuss what you're doing. Do not force it on them. Do not tell them, you should eat potatoes, because they're like, no, I don't want to eat potatoes. They'll make me fat. You know what you say? Okay. Cue the crickets. That's it. Just go, oh. Or you can say, if they tell you that potatoes will make you fat, you know what you say? That's interesting. Tell me more about that. And just nod your head. That's one thing we learned the first day of hair school. We learned 30-something years ago, do not discuss religion or politics. And my teacher was awesome. She said, there are people that just ramble on about unbelievable things. And after 30 years, I can tell you, you would not believe the things people tell me. You know what you say? That's interesting. I have people that want to have like political arguments with me. This is not a conducive way to do business. It's not conducive to a nice environment in the salon. So I just go, that's interesting. Like when they say, oh, I hate so-and-so, or I don't like this candidate, or I don't like this politician, I go, that's interesting. I saw, that's going to be really, really rainy tomorrow. Do you believe that? Just change the subject. Move on. Do you. Pay attention to you. Put you first. No matter what people say, you go, that's interesting. And if they ask you, where do you get your protein? Ask them, how much do you think I should get? They don't know. The World Health Organization says 5% of your calories from protein. If you ate nothing but potatoes, you would have much more than that every day. I have checked mine. I get between 40 and 60 grams of protein a day, and I'm not even trying hard. I'm not making any effort. I take no supplements. So when people say weird stuff to you, just go, interesting. Or if they ask you, what are you doing? How long are you going to do this? Go, I don't know. I'm just trying something out. Even though you fully intend to do this until you reach your goal and beyond, and for the rest of your life, you're going to eat healthy and take care of yourself. You just go, I'm just trying this out. That's really interesting. Thanks so much. And just leave. Thank you so much. I'm glad that it's nice to be worried about. Okay, I'm going to go. Do you? Because they're going to be all up in your grill later wanting to know how you do what you do. If you like these videos, like and subscribe. If you don't like them, I don't care.